The movie begins with a flashback to 1989. Scientist Hank Pym storms out of a SHIELD meeting after discovering they're trying to replicate his secret Pym particle, the formula that can shrink matter. Hank vows to keep his technology safe, fearing what it could do in the wrong hands. Cut to the present day, we meet Scott Lang, a skilled burglar just released from prison, trying to go straight for the sake of his daughter, Cassie. But finding honest work proves impossible, so he agrees to one last heist with his quirky crew. They break into a mysterious old house, Hank Pym's house, and instead of cash, Scott finds a strange suit in a vault. He takes it home, tries it on, presses a button, and suddenly shrinks down to the size of an insect. In shock, he runs through a bathtub, across dance floors. Terrified, Scott tries to return the suit, only to get arrested. But Hank Pym himself bails him out and reveals everything. The suit was a test. Hank needs someone who can wear it to stop his former protege, Darren Cross, who's recreating the shrinking tech as a weaponized suit called the Yellow Jacket. Hank trains Scott to become the new Ant-Man, with the help of his daughter, Hope Van Dyne. Scott learns to fight while tiny, leap through keyholes, control different species of ants, and even ride one, Anthony. When Cross gets closer to perfecting his tech, the mission begins. The plan, infiltrate Pym Technologies and destroy all traces of the Yellow Jacket program. Before that, though, Scott sneaks into an Avengers facility to steal a key piece of tech and ends up battling Sam Wilson, the Falcon. He wins, barely, earning his place among heroes.
He's inside my pack! Sorry!
It's really important to me that Cap never finds out about this.
Hey, little guy.
The climax hits when Scott and the team break into Pym Tech headquarters.
Drop your gun.
The building explodes into chaos, bullets flying, and Scott shrinking and growing mid-fight. Cross dons the Yellow Jacket suit, leading to an epic battle inside a little girl's bedroom. They duel atop Thomas the Tank Engine, turning a child's toy into a battlefield. In the end, to save Cassie, Scott risks everything, shrinking beyond the subatomic level into the quantum realm. He nearly vanishes forever but manages to reverse the process and return, reunited with his daughter. The film closes with Scott joining Hope and Hank, now trusted as a hero, while Luis hilariously recounts how the Avengers are looking for...
So we got a guy who jumps, we got a guy who swings, we got a guy who crawls up the walls, you gotta be more specific. And he's like, I'm looking for a guy that shrinks.
And? What'd he say?
He said, yes.
It's about damn time.
We're on our own. Maybe not. I know a guy.
The film opens with a flashback, 1991, Siberia. The Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes, is sent on a Hydra mission to ambush a car and steal a batch of deadly super soldier serum. Cut to the present, the Avengers are on a mission in Lagos. Captain America leads Black Widow, Falcon, and Scarlet Witch against Crossbones. The mission goes well until Crossbones detonates himself, and Wanda accidentally redirects the blast into a nearby building, killing innocent people. This tragedy sparks global outrage. Soon after, the Avengers are confronted with the Sokovia Accords, a UN agreement to control their actions after the events of Sokovia and Lagos. Tony Stark, guilt-ridden over Ultron and the lives lost, supports the Accords. Steve Rogers, however, refuses to sign. He believes heroes must stay free to act when needed. The team divides. Things escalate when a bomb explodes at the UN, killing King T'Chaka of Wakanda. The suspect? Bucky Barnes. Steve rushes to save his old friend before the world can execute him. After an intense chase across rooftops, Black Panther makes his debut, hunting Bucky for vengeance. All three are captured, but when Bucky's programming is triggered again, chaos erupts. Steve and Bucky flee, now fugitives. Tony tries to reason with Steve, but neither side bends. Steve's team Falcon, Hawkeye, Wanda, and newcomer Ant-Man faces off against Tony's team Iron Man, Black Widow, War Machine, Vision, Black Panther, and the newly recruited Spider-Man. This leads to the iconic airport battle, one of the MCU's most memorable scenes. Heroes clash, webs fly, suits collide, and Ant-Man grows into Giant Man, stunning everyone. In the end, Steve and Bucky escape, but Rhodey is badly injured. Later, Tony learns the truth: Bucky was framed by Helmut Zemo, a Sokovian seeking revenge. But Zemo's final move shatters the Avengers completely. He shows footage revealing that Bucky, while brainwashed, murdered Tony's parents. The emotional final fight begins. Tony's rage boils over, and he battles Steve and Bucky in a brutal, personal showdown. In the end, Steve disables Tony's suit and walks away, leaving his shield behind. "It doesn't belong to you," Tony says, voice breaking. The Avengers are broken, scattered. Zemo, having achieved his goal, sits in silence, his revenge complete. Steve rescues his imprisoned team, setting the stage for a fractured world, one that may never see the Avengers united again. In 1995, where a quiet suburban life in Ohio suddenly shatters, young Natasha Romanoff and Yelena Belova are rushed away from their home by the people they believe are their parents, Alexei Shostakov, the Red Guardian, and Melina Vostokov, former Black Widow. Their escape is frantic and explosive, ending with the girls being delivered to Dreykov, the ruthless architect of the Red Room. Any illusion of family is stripped away as Natasha and Yelena are forced into brutal training, becoming Black Widows. 21 years later, Natasha is on the run. Branded a fugitive for breaking the Sokovia Accords, she narrowly escapes Secretary Ross and hides out in a remote Norwegian safehouse, reconnecting with fixer Rick Mason. Across the world in Morocco, Yelena is still operating as a widow. During a hit, she's exposed to a mysterious red dust that breaks Dreykov's chemical mind control. Horrified by the truth, Yelena sends the antidote to Natasha, hoping she'll return. Natasha unknowingly becomes a target when Taskmaster ambushes her in a brutal highway chase, trying to reclaim the red dust. Surviving the attack, Natasha tracks the source back to Yelena, and the sisters reunite in Budapest only for their reunion to explode into chaos as Black Widows descend on them. Natasha learns the truth she's been running from: the Red Room never fell, and Dreykov is still alive. Years earlier, Natasha's defection mission involved killing Dreykov and his daughter Antonia in a bombing, an act that still haunts her. Now she learns Antonia survived, and something far worse awaits. With Mason's help, Natasha and Yelena break Alexei out of prison, leading them to Melina's remote Russian farm, where she experiments with mind control on pigs. Old wounds reopen as the family confronts the lie they lived, but admit they still wished it had been real. Their reunion is short-lived. Dreykov's forces capture them and take them to the Red Room, revealed to be a massive floating fortress in the sky. Inside, the truth comes crashing down. Taskmaster is Antonia, permanently damaged and turned into Dreykov's perfect weapon. Natasha discovers she physically cannot hurt Dreykov due to a pheromone lock built into every widow. Natasha slams her face into a desk, severing her own nerve to break free and finally attack him. Melina sabotages the engines. Alexei battles Taskmaster. Yelena frees the widows using a red dust bomb, snapping them out of years of control. Natasha copies the global widow locations just as the base begins to collapse. In the final showdown, Yelena destroys Dreykov's escape ship, killing him. Natasha and Antonia battle in freefall before Natasha uses the antidote to finally free her. The family parts ways on the ground below. Yelena gives Natasha her vest. Natasha entrusts Yelena with the final red dust vial and the mission to free the remaining widows worldwide. Natasha stays behind to face Ross, then disappears once again. 2 weeks later, now blonde and resolute, Natasha receives a Quinjet from Mason and heads off to break the Avengers out of the raft. After her death, Yelena visits Natasha's grave, where she's approached by Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, who gives her a new mission.
Maybe you'd like a shot at the man responsible for your sister's death. Kind of a cutie, don't you think?
After the Battle of New York, a salvage crew led by Adrian Toomes arrives to clean up the alien wreckage left behind by the Chitauri and sell the debris. But their operation is abruptly shut down by the government's damage control, leaving Adrian furious and bankrupt. Determined to survive, he secretly keeps some alien technology and begins building powerful black market weapons. 8 years later, we meet Peter Parker, a high school student in Queens who is secretly Spider-Man. After briefly fighting alongside the Avengers during the events of Civil War, Peter dreams of becoming a full-time hero under the mentorship of Tony Stark.
Don't forget about your homecoming tickets. Do you have a date?
But instead of saving the world, he's stuck stopping bike thieves and helping old ladies cross the street. Peter desperately waits for a call from Stark, constantly reporting his small-time heroics to Happy Hogan, who mostly ignores him. Frustrated, Peter decides to prove himself by investigating a group of criminals using strange alien weapons. During one of these encounters, he barely survives an explosion caused by the unstable technology.
Spider-Man.
Peter soon discovers the source of the weapons, Adrian Toomes, now known as the Vulture, who has built a terrifying mechanical wingsuit powered by alien tech. When Peter tries to stop him during a ferry robbery, things spiral out of control. The ferry splits in half, nearly killing everyone on board, until Iron Man arrives just in time to save the day. Disappointed in Peter's recklessness, Tony Stark confiscates the advanced Spider-Man suit, telling him that if he's nothing without it, then he doesn't deserve it. Feeling defeated, Peter tries to return to normal life. He attends his school's homecoming dance with his crush Liz Allen, but when Liz's father opens the door to drive them to the dance, Peter makes a shocking discovery. Liz's father is Adrian Toomes, the Vulture. Realizing Peter's secret identity during the car ride, Adrian warns him to stay out of his business, but Peter refuses.
Good old Spider-Man.
Using only his basic homemade suit, Peter tracks Adrian to a final weapons deal involving a Stark cargo plane. The battle ends at a beachside crash site where Peter is trapped beneath heavy rubble. Peter pushes himself past fear and lifts the debris, proving he truly is Spider-Man. In the final fight, Vulture's damaged wings begin to overload. Peter saves Adrian's life instead of letting him die, proving he's the hero Tony believed he could be. Afterward, Tony Stark offers Peter a place among the Avengers and even unveils a brand new Spider-Man suit. But Peter makes a surprising choice. He declines, deciding he's not ready yet. Instead, he chooses to remain the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, protecting Queens in his own way. And back at home, Peter's biggest secret is finally discovered when Aunt May walks in on him wearing the Spider-Man suit. Her reaction?
And I heard a rumor. You know who he is?
Hi, I'm Captain America, here to talk to you about one of the most valuable traits a soldier or student can have. Patience. Sometimes patience is the key to victory. Sometimes it leads to very little. It seems like it's not worth it, and you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing. How many more of these?
Centuries ago, a meteor of vibranium crashes into Africa, sparking war among 5 tribes until a warrior named Bashenga consumes the heart-shaped herb, becomes the first Black Panther, and unites Wakanda into a hidden superpower. A nation that masks its brilliance behind the illusion of weakness. In 1992, King T'Chaka uncovers betrayal within his own bloodline, confronting his brother N'Jobu in Oakland, a moment that ends in tragedy, and plants the seed of a future enemy. In the present day, following T'Chaka's death, T'Challa returns home to claim the throne, reuniting with his fierce allies Okoye, Nakia, Shuri, and Queen Ramonda. At the waterfall ritual, stripped of his powers, T'Challa faces M'Baku in brutal combat, and proves his worth, emerging as Wakanda's new king before entering the ancestral plane, where his father warns him of trials ahead. But danger is already moving. Ulysses Klaue and a mysterious operative steal vibranium, drawing T'Challa into a high-stakes mission in Busan. Undercover operations explode into chaos, a high-speed chase tears through the city, and just as victory seems close, a new player emerges, Eric Killmonger. After rescuing CIA agent Everett Ross and bringing him to Wakanda, T'Challa uncovers a devastating truth. Killmonger is N'Jobu's abandoned son, a child of Wakanda left behind. And now, he's back. Killmonger storms Wakanda, challenges for the throne, and wins. In a shocking defeat, T'Challa is cast off the waterfall, left for dead. As Killmonger rises, burns the sacred herbs, and prepares to arm the world with Wakandan weapons, igniting global revolution. But hope survives. Nakia steals the last herb. Deep in the mountains, the Jabari reveal T'Challa is alive. Revived, he returns to the ancestral plane, this time not to listen, but to challenge. Rejecting the sins of the past, T'Challa chooses a new path. He rises. The final battle begins. Wakanda erupts into war. Border Tribe versus Black Panther, Okoye's tribe versus Killmonger, and later with the help of M'Baku, Jabari versus Border Tribe, while Shuri fights with Hercules' fists, Okoye with honor, and Ross takes to the skies to stop the weapons from leaving the country. In the heart of the vibranium mines, T'Challa faces Killmonger in a clash of ideologies, king versus revolutionary. With strategy and strength, T'Challa gains the upper hand, and delivers the final blow. But even in victory, he offers mercy. Killmonger refuses, choosing death over chains, watching the Wakandan sunset as a free man. In the aftermath, everything changes. T'Challa rejects isolation, opening Wakanda to the world, establishing outreach in Oakland, and standing before the United Nations to reveal the truth. A new era begins, and as the world watches, Wakanda steps out of the shadows forever. Dr. Strange is once a brilliant but arrogant neurosurgeon named Stephen Strange. Known for his unmatched skill and massive ego, Strange lives a life of luxury until everything changes in an instant. After a reckless drive, his car crashes violently, shattering his hands. Though he survives, the nerve damage ends his surgical career. Desperate and unwilling to accept defeat, Strange spends his fortune searching for a cure, but nothing works. That's when he hears of a miracle. A former patient, once paralyzed, is now walking again.
The place you're looking for is called Kamartaj.
This leads Strange to Kamartaj, a hidden sanctuary in Nepal, where he meets the mysterious Ancient One. At first, Strange mocks her teachings until she opens his mind, literally, sending his spirit through the multiverse. Reality shatters. Dimensions fold. Time loses meaning. Broken and humbled, Strange begins his training in the mystic arts. Under the guidance of Wong and the Ancient One, he studies spells, relics, and ancient knowledge. Though impatient, his natural talent allows him to progress rapidly. He masters the sling ring, opening portals across space, and soon gains access to powerful relics. One of them chooses him, the Cloak of Levitation, granting him flight and acting almost like a partner of its own. But danger rises. A former student, Caecilius, has turned against the Ancient One, seeking eternal life by serving the dark entity Dormammu, ruler of the dark dimension. Caecilius attacks sanctums across the world, threatening to collapse reality itself. Strange is thrust into battle before he's ready. Strange barely survives, learning the true cost of power when he must save himself using magic for the first time. As the conflict escalates, Strange uncovers a forbidden artifact, the Eye of Agamotto, which holds the power to manipulate time. Against all rules, he uses it to reverse destruction and learn faster than ever. In a breathtaking fight in New York, the city bends and twists like a living puzzle, streets folding, buildings shifting, gravity breaking apart. The truth comes at a cost. The Ancient One falls in battle, revealing that even she drew power from the dark dimension to protect Earth. Before her death, she tells Strange that it's not about being the best, it's about being willing to make the hard choices. Now, Earth stands defenseless. As Caecilius opens the gateway, the dark dimension consumes reality. Time ceases to exist except for Strange. In the final moment, Strange confronts Dormammu not with strength, but with strategy. He traps them both in a time loop. Again and again, Strange dies. Again and again, he returns. Endlessly.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain!
Unable to escape the loop, Dormammu is forced to surrender, withdrawing his power and saving Earth. Strange wins, not by power, but by sacrifice. In the end, Stephen Strange takes Ancient One's place as the protector of reality, the Sorcerer Supreme's successor, guarding Earth from threats beyond comprehension. From a man who once only cared about saving lives, to one willing to die endlessly to save the world.
So I keep a watch list of individuals and beings from other realms that may be a threat to this world. Your adopted brother Loki is one of those beings.
Worthy inclusion.
Yeah.
I see at long last what's wrong with the world. Too many sorcerers.
Thor imprisoned deep within the fiery realm of Muspelheim, chained before the fire demon Surtur. Surtur reveals a terrifying prophecy: Ragnarok, the destruction of Asgard, is coming. All he needs is to unite his crown with the eternal flame hidden in Odin's vault. Thor escapes in classic style, summoning Mjolnir, smashing through demons, and defeating Surtur before stealing his crown. Returning to Asgard, Thor quickly realizes something is wrong. Heimdall is missing, and Odin is acting suspiciously. He discovers the truth during a ridiculous stage play reenacting Loki's fake death. Odin is actually Loki in disguise. Thor forces Loki to reveal their father's location, leading them to Earth and eventually to Doctor Strange, who sends them to Norway.
I have been falling for 30 minutes.
There, the real Odin delivers his final warning. His death will release his firstborn child, Hela, the goddess of death. Moments after Odin fades away, Hela appears, and instantly destroys Mjolnir with one hand. Thor and Loki attempt to flee through the Bifrost, but Hela attacks them mid-transport, knocking them into space. Thor crash lands on the chaotic junk planet Sakaar, where he's captured by a drunken bounty hunter revealed to be a former Valkyrie. Thor is sold to the eccentric ruler Grandmaster and forced into the contest of champions. Meanwhile, Hela invades Asgard, massacres the Warriors 3, revives her undead army with the Eternal Flame, and reveals she once fought beside Odin during Asgard's brutal conquest of the realms. Asgard falls completely under her control. Back on Sakaar, Thor enters the gladiator arena expecting a monster, only for the gates to open and reveal Hulk. Thor excitedly shouts,
Friend from work!
before getting brutally beaten in a massive arena battle. During the fight, Thor begins unlocking lightning powers from within himself, but the Grandmaster cheats by shocking him unconscious. Thor later reunites with Bruce Banner, who has been trapped as Hulk since the events of Sokovia. Thor convinces Valkyrie to help them escape, while Loki predictably betrays them, only for Thor to outsmart him for once by secretly placing a shock disc on his back. Thor, Valkyrie, Banner, Loki, Korg, and the Revolutionaries return to Asgard for one final stand. Hulk battles the giant wolf Fenris while Valkyrie fights Hela's undead army. During his battle with Hela, Thor loses an eye and has a vision of Odin, who tells him the truth.
Are you Thor, the god of hammers?
Mjolnir was never the source of his power. Thor fully unleashes his lightning abilities, blasting Hela with thunder stronger than ever before. But even then, Hela cannot be defeated while Asgard exists. Realizing the prophecy must happen, Thor orders Loki to resurrect Surtur using the Eternal Flame. The gigantic fire demon rises and destroys Asgard itself. As the surviving Asgardians escape aboard a ship, Surtur plunges his sword through the planet, killing Hela and fulfilling Ragnarok. Thor watches his home crumble into space, finally understanding that
Asgard is not a place. Asgard is where our people stand.
Now wearing an eye patch like Odin, Thor accepts his destiny as king. With Loki, Hulk, Valkyrie, Heimdall, Korg, and the surviving Asgardians beside him, he sets a course for Earth.
I feel like everything's gonna work out fine.
Years ago, during the height of the Cold War, scientist Janet Van Dyne embarked on a one-way mission to stop a Soviet nuclear missile. Shrinking smaller and smaller between the molecules, Janet disabled the missile, but vanished forever into the mysterious quantum realm. Believing his wife dead, Hank Pym raised their daughter Hope alone, haunted by the sacrifice Janet made to save millions. Years later, Scott Lang is nearing the end of his house arrest after helping Captain America during the Avengers Civil War. Confined to his home with an ankle monitor and constantly watched by FBI agent Jimmy Woo, Scott passes the time doing card tricks, building giant cardboard mazes with his daughter Cassie, and running his new business with Luis, Dave, and Kurt. But just days before his freedom, Scott suddenly experiences a strange dream, a memory from Janet herself. Realizing Scott somehow formed a connection with Janet through the quantum realm, Hope and Hank secretly abduct him and reveal the impossible. Janet may still be alive. Now fugitives from the government, Hank and Hope have built a massive quantum tunnel hidden inside a portable laboratory that can shrink down to suitcase size. They plan to rescue Janet before it's too late, but first they need a missing component from black market dealer Sonny Birch. The deal quickly turns into chaos when Birch betrays them, hoping to profit from Pym's technology. That's when Hope unveils her new suit as the Wasp. She shrinks, flies through kitchens, dodges knives, and takes down Birch's men with blasters and acrobatic combat. But another threat soon appears. Ghost, a mysterious masked woman who can phase through walls and objects, steals the component in Hank's portable lab. Hank and Hope asks for help from his former S.H.I.E.L.D. scientist partner, Bill Foster. He tells them that they can track down the location of the lab with the component from the old Ant-Man suit, which is kept in the trophy. Unfortunately, Cassie took the trophy for her school project. They went to her school to retrieve the suit while Scott struggles with an unstable suit that randomly changes his size. After they track down the location, Ant-Man and the Wasp quietly infiltrate the room to steal the lab back, but Ghost ambushes them and ties them up. She reveals herself to be Ava Starr, the daughter of a scientist killed in a failed quantum experiment. The accident left Ava permanently unstable and her body is constantly phasing apart. Bill Foster adopted her and S.H.I.E.L.D. weaponized her to be a stealth operative so that she can energize her suit to make her stable. When S.H.I.E.L.D. collapses and desperate to survive, Bill Foster helps her again, believing that Janet's quantum energy is the only thing that can save her, even if rescuing her kills Janet in the process. Scott, Hope, and Hank escape and build the quantum tunnel with Janet's help in Scott's body while hiding in the woods. Ghost and Birch get the information of their hideout from Luis with a truth serum.
There's no such thing as truth serum.
Racing against time, Hank ventures deep into the quantum realm itself. Tiny cars speed through San Francisco streets, giant Pez dispensers become weapons, and Scott grows into Giant Man. Inside the surreal microscopic universe, Hank finally reunites with Janet after decades apart. But Janet has changed, evolved by her years inside the quantum realm. Together they escape just in time as Ghost tries to steal Janet's energy. Instead of fighting back, Janet willingly heals Ava, stabilizing her condition and ending her suffering. Scott barely makes it home before his ankle monitor expires, fooling Jimmy Woo and finally earning his freedom. Hank and Janet reunite as a family at last, and peace finally seems possible.
This truth serum.
Okay, healing particle secured for our new ghost friend.
Hank, Hope, Janet, guys. Okay, seriously, don't joke around. Bring me up. Let's go. Guys!